Hey everyone, welcome back to my channel. Today I wanted to talk about the new movie, The Crow. If you end up enjoying this video, please consider liking and subscribing. That way I'm not cursed to have a big bird follow me around while I exist in this mortal plane. The synopsis is as follows. Soulmates Eric and Shelley are brutally murdered when the demons of her dark past catch up with them. Given the chance to save his true love by sacrificing himself, Eric returns to seek bloody revenge against the killers, traversing the worlds of the living and the dead to put the wrong things right. So without further ado, let's get into the 6 things that make a movie great. 1. The plot. This movie opens with Shelley and one of her friends running away from people who are chasing them down. She gets sent to a rehab clinic where she meets Eric. They fall madly in love and escape, and after a while are murdered by the people that are chasing Shelley. Eric somehow comes back to life and starts hunting down these guys, realizing that he cannot be killed. And that's the story. That's the movie. This should be open and shut a revenge flick, but it is so convoluted. And while I thought the original film was missing a little bit of depth just due to how old the movie was, this one made it so much worse. Everything in this movie, including the story, is extremely shallowed out. It kind of had the same vibe as Morbius, where the actual film felt like a trailer for itself, because there was no substance to anything. And it does a terrible job of world building and explaining what's actually going on, and you just end up being bored and not engaged. Revenge stories are so easy to be entertained by, so you know that a movie is doing something wrong if you're not. Plot gets a huge thumbs down. 2 is family friendliness. The Crow is rated R. It has a moderate bit of profanity, some disturbing and almost demonic elements, a very long slew of sexual sequences, including partial nudity in multiple of them. The last quarter of the film had a very exuberant and disturbing amount of blood, gore, and violence. Safe to say, family friendliness gets a thumbs down. 3 is acting and script. Holy crap. The acting in this movie was astonishingly terrible. Bill Skarsgård is not a bad actor. This movie made it look like he should be B-listed. And I don't know who the heck FKA Twigs is, but what she did on screen, you can't even call an acting performance. To be completely honest, I don't know how she was cast in this movie, because that was the most atrocious thing that I've ever seen. Danny Huston had the best performance at first, because he's just used to playing an antagonist, but that went downhill rather quickly. And the script? Dude. Just remember that I watch these things so you don't have to. I keep getting one-upped by what I think the worst script of the year is, and this one is definitely in contention. I say that probably 90% of the script of this movie could have been someone's Instagram bio line. So much of the dialogue between characters, especially with Eric and Shelley, was like, if you ever find it hard to love me, just love me harder. I'm not joking, that was most of the movie. I can't talk about that. I don't know how you make a movie this bad. I just don't know. Acting and script get a huge thumbs down. 4 is character development. This movie hinges on Eric and Shelley's relationship being true, pure love. And guess what the movie does? Nothing. This movie somehow thought that character development and bonding between characters is just sex. Because all it showed us between Eric and Shelley was a 10 to 15 minute montage of them just drinking, having sex, and doing drugs. And they're like, yeah, can't you tell that's true love? And I felt nothing for them. It's Revenge Flick 101 to make the audience care about the people that are killed so that you care about the driving force behind the movie the entire time, and you don't. I just kept waiting for them to be like, okay, sex scene is over. Are they going to develop? No, it's going to go into another sex scene. All right, now they'll develop them. Just kidding. You've won yourself another sex scene. What are we watching here? This is not a film. Vincent was an interesting antagonist, though, but he was only in the movie for like 10 minutes, maybe. You didn't care about anybody in this film or the relationship between Eric and Shelley. Character development gets a thumbs down. 5 is visuals and CGI. What CGI there is in this movie is bad. You only see the Crow a couple times, and it's bad CGI. And they do not include some of the cooler elements and abilities that Eric has in the first film, and I'm assuming the comics. Why those things aren't in this film, I don't know, because everything else that they did was not better. There's almost no action in this movie until the final quarter of it, and that's an absolute bloodbath of gore and extreme violence. And even though it wasn't very good, it was the best part of this movie, as much as it pains me to say. But technology has come a long way, so simply because of that fact, I have to give visuals and CGI 50-50. And 6 is rewatchability. The Crow is an hour and 51 minutes long, and boy did this one drag on. It's no surprise that the movie felt long when it doesn't have anything in it that makes you want to keep watching. I usually have more to say here, but that's it in a nutshell. There is nothing about this movie that was enjoyable. For me, rewatchability gets a huge thumbs down. With all these areas considered, I have to give The Crow a 1 out of 10. The antagonist was very slightly interesting, and there was a wee bit of potential here, but this movie was an absolutely atrocious mess of terrible, if you can even call it acting, one of the worst scripts of the year, a confusing and terribly told story, and moments of bad CGI. Look, I've heard that the comics are great, and the original film is at least enjoyable. Whatever this was, I think you should avoid it at all costs. Thank you so much for watching. If you've seen The Crow, fly home, baby. But before you do, let me know what you thought about it in the comments below. As always, I appreciate your love and support. Thank you for 250 subscribers. You guys are the best. And I'll catch you guys and gals in the next one.